Hello! M12, what I hear? I am back with another video. And today we are continuing the Can We Make It challenge in Skyrim. So first off, let me lock my house before we leave. Don't want any uninvited guests here. Alright, we really need to read. Got like, what, 3 tiles? Usable farmland. Perhaps maybe I need to re-water it after it's been a while. There we go. See if that has any effect on it. So, today we are going to actually force potatoes, whatever produce I have. And now it's time to calculate a few things. Starters, the 25th of second speed. So, I'm gonna wait until the start of the new month to do some calculations. But first off, Riverwood Trader. We originally bought the key from them around $7,000 or 7,000 and a few hundred 7,000 and a few hundred gold coins, right? And that was factoring in all the benefits we got from perks from the speech skill tree. To negotiate prices down and what. But the original selling price of this was about 10,800 coins the first time I checked it, I believe. I know it went down as I developed my skill. Speech. So factoring in that, and the fact that we paid 1,000 for the horse, and assuming there's a 10% tax rate on property, we have about what? That brings us about to 1,180 gold a month. For the sake of simplicity, we'll just round that up to 1,200 by adding 20 extra septums onto that. Now, for this, we are going to actually, for the Can We Make It challenge, factor in how much we are going to, how much we'd have to pay in taxes, in terms of property tax as well, which we'll just assume is 10% as well, as I'm doing for the calculation. The reason I'm doing 10 is because I think that's reasonable for anyone, any commoner to, well, one, be able to pay, and two, I haven't found anything that would seem to indicate a specific rate of tax for Whiterun, the hold in which we are in, or any other hold. I found some mods, but I think adding them onto this mid-challenge would just change up too many things. And I think I mentioned before, or maybe I haven't, that I would only add in a mod if it was to fix gameplay bugs or glitches that would otherwise impede the game to function properly. Alright. Why do I not have my weapon here? Okay. So, now that we have that done, I'm going to actually, over the course of the next in-game month, be making as many potions as I can We're gonna get as many ingredients as we can. And then we're gonna go from there. Because once we do that, we should definitely do it. So the second seed of the 25th. So the 25th of next month. And that's what we should do. Okay. Apparently those breathing noises were coming from my horse. I thought it was something. Noise being generated from another tab. Hence why it all tabbed out. Alright. Let's get to this and see what we got. Okay, so we're gonna keep going out this way. Along the road here. We're gonna keep grabbing as many stuff as we can. For potion making. And then what we are going to do is we are going to try and craft as many as we can. Sell as much as we can. Why is my horse trying to get himself killed? I'm gonna feed him. I'm not sure if that's gonna heal him, but... And healing hand just in case. This is going to be the most annoying part, but it's also going to be the most accurate part of the game in order to see if we could. Because we need to gain the statistics of your monthly income as well. Of course, we know that you don't pay an income tax if you don't have an income, but once you're retired, that will be the case. So, once we get enough money to retire and pay for all property taxes, including the horse, and the property that we have, which we've already determined is $1,200 a month, plus what would be estimated cost of living, food, water, drink, all that stuff. Eating in the form of firewood. So how did I miss that one? Okay. Here we go. Only avoided getting eaten by wolves. I have these blue mountain flowers, purple one. Who the fuck sent the Dark Brotherhood after me? I haven't stolen anything. I haven't pissed anyone off. Right? Okay, but those are all in self-defenses. How did I get a trespass? Oh yeah, that's because I had to unlock the door for Hod. Because of he was glitched inside his house. Technically, I was not caught, but yeah. Full disclosure, because he was glitched in there, I I unlocked it, but I also did the console command so I wouldn't be detected. Just so that I could load in his house so he could actually, like, walk out of it now that the door was unlocked. So I used 2 console commands, but I didn't use it to get an unfair advantage, but only for the sake of debugging. Which I did mention I might have to do. So, yeah. While I'm here in Warwickstead, where is the inn?
Do yourself a favor and don't have children. They're good for nothing at all. I got enough trouble, so don't go adding to them.
What's a milk drinker like you
If you need a meal or room, I've got both.
Your mother.
Of course. Until next time.
I
What's a
spend
milk drinker
every
like
day
you doing
tending
out
the
here?
fields, and what do my
Go home to
daughters
your
do?
mother.
That person's just looking for a fight. We'll just assume that that assassin who came after me was trying to get me for, this fleeing court intrigue, and they're hired in High Rock to follow me here. Because that's what I'm going with right now for my current backstory. And these bandits think that they can win, and I can just outrun them.
Tell you what, you start running, so I can
I have to pass up so many ingredients on the side of the road here. Just for my own safety. even safe for my horse to cross? Like, how shallow is the water? Yeah, no. Over here, yes. I want to get away from this. It's all distance away. I like to buying potion ingredients, but I really can't do that according to the challenge unless I'm buying them for the sake of eating them to figure out ingredients. Can't use it as like a physical item to like really make something all out of raw ingredients that I find in. So we go here, we're gonna grab this, we're gonna grab that, this. And it's night out. And we're not far from Dragon Bridge. You wanna know what? Let's go to Dragon Bridge, go to the inn there, stay there for the night. I believe it's 1 in the morning. Was like, what time was it at the beginning? Actually, let me, see my save. Okay, it was. No, that's the date. Okay. Okay, so that's 20, so it was. But when I started it, it was sometime after 5 in the morning. When I loaded that, because I waited before I left. I'm gonna say it can technically be like maybe a little less than a day, but it's gonna be like a little less than a day. But then again, you don't work the whole day. Yeah, took the wrong turn here. Okay. Get me my refill on water here. And I'm just gonna go around the general area of this town. Horsefield Tavern.
Something different about you, I can tell. Hope you ain't here to cause trouble. Sure thing. It's yours for a day. I'll show you to your room. Right this way. See ya. Let me know if there's anything else you need.
Nah, I'm all set. We'll sleep for a solid 10 hours. Wait. Thistle. Thistle. Remember. I feel like all potion ingredients are good. Okay, so now I'm gonna start going back. Try and go back the way I came. It's gonna take me to Rorkstead. Because I came by this thing. Yeah. No, Rorkstead's this way. Maybe going towards there. Then how did I get... I heard the howling of war, or bark of war. Well, yes, because I came through here. I think I just ended up going past dragons.
fighting.
Who made you think I'm fighting those wolves? I'm running. I'm booking it. I'm getting the frick out of Dodge. That's what's happening.
This should be I'm getting out of here.
This isn't. I'm not a fighter. Protect me. Hmm. Okay, so the only thing I'm gonna say here, now that our journey's pretty much almost done with, because we went out a whole entire day worth of looking for stuff along the roadside, while spending, I'd say, like, about a quarter of that, like, astral traveling, a quarter of that, was, stopping along the way multiple times for ingredients, and another quarter was just me trying to avoid getting, killed by the Dark Brotherhood, mugged by bandits, or mugged by thieves that I happen to outrun, or maybe they just didn't target me. I could easily get away on horseback. I don't know, maybe that's just them being smart and being like, we'll wait for someone else who's much easier to get. I'm assuming which would be essentially me when I'm not riding my horse, but yeah. Alright. So, let me see here. Let me use this chest. Okay, let's dump out. All of my potions I have here for now. We will come back and get those. But let's see everything we got, what we can make. I'm not going to count the buff of a fortified barter because that would imply that we have that on 20 when we don't. And now we'll calculate that shit. Alright. But first, I gotta pause and go to the bathroom. BRB. And I'm back, and I'm probably gonna have to cut all that out. Okay, so now that we've made all of these potions, unlocked with the key, lock my house, leave. Let's see here. I'm actually gonna pull out my phone to do some math here.
Riverwood Trader is every... Oh, a bit of this and a bit of that.
So we'll say, let's just say, I'm working, say, 20 days out of the year. And we'll say maybe, no, not 20 days out of the year. 20 days out of the month, times, minus, say, like, 15 that we're not making, minus, like, 5 days for, collecting resources, so we're not, like, actually selling them. So we'll say, like, sell, like, on 15 days of the month while we, take 10 days off, spread out through the thing, and get, say, like, 5 days to specifically go out and get resources, materials, harvest, or for this, I am going to say whatever our value is items. Okay. So let me pull up my calculator. So we got 97 times 8. Plus, okay. So that, wait, no, that comes out to 1746. 1746. Yeah. $17.46 times plus 6 times 5. Okay. You got 1776. And then we're gonna do 1776 19 times 12 1004. Then we're gonna do 28 times 10 here. 2084 plus 32 times 11, and we get 2,636. Now we cannot sell that all in one go, but assuming we are able to sell that, which we could probably sell across 3 general goods stores, the one here, the one in the general goods store here, the one in Whiterun, and the apothecary shop there. And that would probably be possible, so I'm gonna do that now and see if we can sell all of these. Yay.
Damn thieves.
And if we are good on this, we should in fact then be able to multiply that by 15 for, say, working that many days out of the month. My alarm. My sleep schedule's been off. That was my alarm for when I normally wake up. I went to bed like about an hour or two earlier than I normally do, but woke up like normally than what I have been, and then lately and whatnot. But I'm still getting my 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Sorry about that in the comments. And this is IRL sleep, not in-game, but here we go. All right. So 1 days of work, of 1 day of collecting potion ingredients, and 1 day of selling it. So essentially 2 whole days worth of work is enough to cover property tax if I was paying rounded up to the nearest hundred, which would be about 1,200 for both the horse and the house I have. Assuming I paid it at maximum price without the modification of a thing, which I'm assuming because I paid for 1,000, and it's not like an actual vendor where I can buy and sell things to spec. And I bought the house, but I took into account the original price that I saw it at, 10,800 for the place. I'm 1,200, so that's what, like 1,400. 36 gold left over after 2 days worth of work. Assuming I set aside that much each month for property tax. Then we have to factor in how much I'd have to pay in income tax, because I want to figure out throughout this gameplay, not only could we survive and make it, but economically as well. I want to be able to get like several million coins and be like, I made it through being an apothecary, and we can retire. The thing is that I might go to one of those bigger houses like the castle when I'm done. I put in several options for me. Didn't really look at them so much as I had if someone help me like figure out, can you buy this with gold? Nope, it's just one of those houses you're given at the beginning. I was added in. Free to get the key. Nope, not what I'm looking for.
Take a good look around. I'm sure you'll find what you're looking for. Everything's for sale. Some may call this junk. Me, I call them treasures.
Okay. $30.
Do come back.
Let me know if you see anything you like. What do you need, my friend? So you're interested in my potions and ingredients?
Okay. So I wasn't able to sell all of them. Okay, so that's okay. Because 32 times 4. So 128. But that's usually 128, so I'm gonna minus that from our calculations. 8. So our new total would be 2,508 septims for about 2 work days. And assuming we do a generous 20 to 15 work days, we'll go with the minimum of 15. We'll just say we take some time off or don't overwork ourselves and we have good, healthy work-life balance. So I'm going to times this number by 50. Times 50. Okay, so 2,500 times 15. And we get 37,620. Okay, and we're going to times that by 0.10. So you get 3,762. 3,760. 1,762. And 700. You're gonna add the 1,200 of 1,762 times 10. Wait, no, I typed that in wrong. 60 plus the 1,200 equals. Okay. 4,962 septims. Okay. So now that we've done that, 4,960. We might as well just round that up to 5,000. And then if we go with our initial of 7,000, of our initial 36,620. So we are rounding up stuff, so we are technically, and we should. But you want to know what? My taxes may increase because I may have a slightly profitable month more than another. So, and if we subtract 5,000 from that in taxes of income and property, which in this case would be about, which would be accounting for which would be accounting for a house, the income that I mentioned, and a horse. The house being bought at 10,800 septims, and a horse being bought for 1,000 septims, equals 32,620 septims per month. And if we have to pay about 5,000 in taxes until we stop working, which is 1,200. And we're going to assume that the average lifespan of a Breton, which I am playing as, is about the same as the Nords here. We're going to say that somewhere between, what, like 80 to 100 years? For some of the races of man in Skyrim. Let's factoring in, we'll say, a cost of living of, we'll say, a modest, we'll go with a modest, say, we'll say a modest, say, $7,000 for the cost of living. $7,000 plus the 5,000 in taxes. That would be about cost of, say, 13 for the house that I have. That would be about 13,000 a month, which after taxes we have 32,000. That cost of living includes that. So 32,600 there. And let's get 13,000 times 12. And that will cost us about $156,000 to live in Whiterun, assuming the tax rate and property tax and income tax is 10% each, would be about $156,000. But when we retire, we are no longer paying income tax because we are no longer getting an income. Which I'll retire when I would have enough money, we'll just say, to pay an income tax, even if we're not getting an income. So, assuming I left my homeland as a Breton from High Rock, fleeing court intrigue, and my story is that everyone was paid off from the jury to the judge, and I knew everything was going to go bad, so I fled before I was even arrested falsely. We'll just say that. And I left, say, maybe in my early 20s, say 20. We'll say my character's 20 for an even number. That means I have about 80 to 60 years left to work. So we will take this number here, the 156,000, times that by 80, and we will have 12,480,000 septims that will be needed for retirement. 12,400 and so 12,480,000 for retirement. Okay. So, I'm gonna actually alt-tab here for this challenge. Where's my notepad? Open up a new one. Can we make it Skyrim? Property tax, income tax. Okay, because we're making about the 3,200. Retire at 2,4. 12. Okay. For the rounding down, just to make sure this is more of a conservative estimate so that we can be a little bit over. That way, when we reach how much we need, we have more than enough because we are factoring in how much we need to retire, assuming we pay income tax long after we stop getting income, because cost of living will definitely go down as a result. Plus cost of living of life style. Lifestyle. Living is 7K. Income is 32,700. What was it, like 32,000? I think it was like 640 something, so we'll just say 600 to down. After tax. So there we go. I'm gonna save that. I have it in my folder here on my notepad++.
Come back anytime if you need a remedy.
And, well, there we go. Now, if we make 32,000 and it's going to cost us after taxes and lifestyle, and 13,000. Okay, so now that we're done with that, we're ending off this video with some map. It's annoying. Yes, some of you probably weren't here for it, but we're trying to make sure we can survive this, and also survive this in terms of the survival aspect of being in a world of Skyrim, but also financially survive. So, I'm gonna do the 32,000 minus 13,000. And we get 19,000 left over for savings. Now, what I'm gonna do is divide the 12,000. The 12,480,000 by 19,000. Yeah, okay. Equals that, okay. Now we're going to divide that by 19,000. And we would need to work 650 months. 656.8, so we'll do 657 months. Okay. 657 months. Let's clear that out. 657 divided by 12. So we would need to work 54 years, and we could survive it. Work 54 years, but we're already 20. And like I said for this, so we're already 20. So that would mean we could retire when we are 74.25 years old. But here's the thing. Some days we get more money, some days we get less, sometimes we find better ingredients in terms of potions that yield a higher value of sale. Merchants who buy our potions sometimes will have more money on hand to buy potions that they know they can turn around for a profit or not. So, factoring in that, let's keep playing. Let's see if I can get that number. Let's see if I can get that number. But for now, I think it's time to end off this episode here of Can We Make It in Skyrim. Not only do we have a horse, a house, we figured out how much we'd probably have to pay in taxes at a set rate. And now we are going to work until we can to see if we can financially make it and survival in terms of can we make it in terms of survival and financially in this game. Thank you guys for watching, taking the time to leave comments, questions, and feedback for me in the comment section down below. It would be highly appreciated. I will see you later in another episode of Can We Make It in Skyrim.